Steelworks Issue 1 opens on a sunny day in Metropolis, where John Henry Irons welcomes the gathering people to a new beginning to their city as he opens Steelworks, his new industrial venture that will help Metropolis become a true city of tomorrow. Superman and his family join the celebration as John regales the crowd with how he started out as a young engineer who wanted to change the world, and the heroes inspired him to walk away from Amerotech, and through tragedy and rebirth, Superman and his family became good friends. In Smallville, Lana watches John on the TV as he tells journalists that he came to a realization recently when his niece was taken from him and trapped on a world that was ravaged by a war, and then Metallo attacked the construction site of his building, and then Amalgam followed on as well, all of which gave him clarity to face the people not as Steel, but as John Henry Irons, just a man, and Steelworks is about keeping the city's infrastructure strong despite those who come for them. John announces the new Metropolis Central Energy Grid that will create force fields for the city's buildings and help the emergency responses. As he implores the people to join together for this great endeavor for a better tomorrow for the city, an angry man tosses his whiskey glass at the TV. The man heads out into the city as at John Henry's workshop, John critiques his recent announcement, thinking that it was stupid to wear that tie. Nat thinks that he almost had her believing it, finding it really ambitious, but in a good way, but she also knows that many have tried this sort of thing before and keeping Metropolis standing for years against monsters who have both teeth and money. She asks why this is different, and John reveals that the people are going to do it without the heroes, shocking Nat. John armors up, explaining that whenever there is a problem, people just look to the sky for the heroes and it's just a reflex action. But he asks Nat what would happen if she had a serious problem and there wasn't a savior. Nat thinks that she would solve that problem, but John asks with or without her suit though, which is a very good question. Nat asks how John thinks this plan will go down with the public and the other supers, especially when he's telling them not to be super, but John explains that's not what he's going to do, since all he's saying is how can a city turn a corner if they don't have the resources to do it themselves. He knows that the supers are necessary, but it's turning Metropolis into a super city, and he has to be the one to show them that a regular person can do this, and he must lead by example. Nat thinks that he's going to give up being Steel, but John doesn't think they have to give up anything, and this is an opportunity to use his gifts to truly be kind and help others, just like Superman always wanted. John understands that he doesn't have all the answers for the questions right now, but he wants to take a look at them and solve them. John and Nat share a laugh about John's tie at the meeting, as the man from before is followed by a limo, its occupant telling his driver to keep his distance. That afternoon, Lana comes by to see John, sharing a kiss with her fiancé. She tells John that his plans are ambitious, but John knows that Nat is worried about their super friends and what they think, but Lana asks if he really is worried since he did fail to mention that in his speech. John thinks it's too much for everyone to digest at once, and he owes Superman his life, never regretting picking up the hammer to help out Clark and the others. But that has to only be the beginning, and the new power source Clark brought back from Warworld can fuel the city in ways he never dreamed of, and he finally has a resource to make everyone feel more super. He tells Lana that he's calling a meeting for the family to see what they think, but Lana thinks what will happen if they don't like it. John reminds her that this is a democracy after all, as at the Southside Cemetery, the man goes to see his dead wife Melissa, apologizing to her. The limo pulls up, its occupant saying that the man will do nicely, as later, Stax, the limo driver, corners the man, ushering him into the limo. Inside, the man is introduced to Charles Walker III, who knows all about Sean Kerry, telling him that they are both connected in some common interests. Charles reveals he wants Kerry to bring down Steelworks, but Kerry is wary of Charles since he knows how the little guy always ends up getting screwed over in deals like this. Charles is aware this has happened to Sean before since he used to work at Amerotech, that is until John Henry Irons quit, sending the stock plummeting and causing the company to lay off many people. Charles takes Sean to his office, revealing a secret lab behind a bookshelf as he tells the man that he lost his job, children, reputation, and finally his wife, who was taken by an illness Sean couldn't pay to cure. Sean asks what he wants, learning from Charles that his company is really just a new version of Amerotech, and Steelworks is about to ruin their business with all the free power for the people. Charles reveals that he wants Sean to destroy Steel, and in doing so, it will bring him peace and a fresh start and put him on the road to redemption. Sean isn't interested, but Charles doesn't give give him much of a choice, sealing Sean in a force field as he tells the man that he's been experimenting on other people before, and he knows that this will be quite painful. Stax activates the field, shocking Sean and giving him powers. Stax grabs the man and tosses him at the wall, which he phases right through, coming back through the door naked and demanding to know what they did to him. Charles demands that he runs, as at Steelworks, John is alerted to an intruder on the ground floor. As down on the ground floor, Natasha Irons and her squad try and track down the intruder as the building explodes open, allowing a group of mercenaries to attack Steelworks.